So today we continue with our class Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and this session and all of them should be dedicated to Refuah Shlema, our dear Rabbi Reuven Shlita. His name is Yaron Ben Doris. Also Yehudis Bas Noach, Ariela Ora Bas Anna, Imi Marasi Rachel Bas Brindel, David Shlomo Ben Sandra, David Abraham Ben Chana. Also a quick soon release our dear friend Moshe Shmuel Ben Pnina. So we learn with him every day, BeEzrat HaShem, about Emunah and Bitachon. Right. So we continue this Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we're on the same Siman. It's very long Siman, Baruch HaShem. It's 76, and we start with C15. So our big topic: laws of Shabbos and festival prayers. So it's a little technical, but we learn a lot. Baruch Hashem. So 15, and we start. So let's read without commentaries, and then go with commentary explanation. Just 1 second. Let me quickly see what was 14 about. So 14. Okay. So here we go. So very good idea. So 14 was Minchah Soros on Shabbos. Okay. So now, okay. After Chazan repetition of Shemoneh Esrei, it is customary to recite the Parsha Tzidkascha Tzedek. Your righteousness is everlasting righteousness. Right. This passage consists of the 3 verses. So before we continue, we're talking about Minchah on Shabbos, and Minchah on Shabbos. And after a repetition of Shemoneh Esrei. So a repetition, nothing special about them, right? Just, so whatever this repetition of the Minchah prayer. Of course, Minchah is different from Shachar, is right, Shemoneh Esrei, but that's what it is. Okay. It is customary to recite passage Tzidkascha Tzedek, your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness. This passage consists of 3 verses. The purpose is similar to the Tziduk Hadin, acceptance of HaShem judgment, are recited upon, bring the deceased to the cemetery. See 194. Okay, we're going to get to it. For 3 righteous men who died on this time, there is no Shabbos Mincha time: Yosef, Moshe Rabbeinu, and David HaMelech. If Shabbos falls on a day, that if it were a weekday, the Tachanun prayer would not be recited. So we're talking about our upcoming Shabbos, right? For sure. Then the congregation does not recite Tzidkascha passage. However, when praying with congregation in a house of the morning, it is recited. For if they would not recite it, it would be public display of mourning. Okay. Not recite. Okay, morning, and there should be no public display of mourning on Shabbos. Amazing explanation. Okay, so let's do from the beginning. It's this piece. It's this piece after completion of the Shemoneh Esrei, but before the Kaddish that Chazan say. So this piece is very important. Again, the Chazan repetition Shemoneh Esrei, right after the Chazan, it is customary to recite Tzidkascha Tzedek. So meaning your judgment and everything. And it's one of the things. It's actually, it says a remind us. So very soon the break is over for people in Gehinom, that were Shomer Shabbos. So they, because they were released, right? So whoever was Shomer Shabbos during their lifetime, they're not being cooked on Shabbos. They're actually free to roam around and have a little good time, basically, right? So now after Mincha, they have to get ready to go back to their judgment, right? So after the Chazan repetition of Shemoneh Esrei, it is customary to recite Tzidkascha Tzedek. So your righteousness, everlasting righteousness, right? This passage consists of 3 verses, right? Whose purpose is similar to that of Tzaduk Hadin. So meaning acceptance of Hashem's judgment. Okay. and plus recited upon bringing the deceased to the cemetery. So meaning when we go to the cemetery, Chas v'shalom, right? But happens today. One of our congregants actually buried his sister. Right, and they said this verse. I did not go, but for sure they said this verse there. And plus one more reminder of this Tzidkascha Tzedek that on Shabbos maybe some people have the little extra to drink, were a little lightheaded. So now, like to sober up, right? Because you start another week, right? You start another week. For 3 righteous men, right? So there is another explanation, of course. 3 righteous men died on that time, Shabbos after Minchah, at Minchah time, right? Who Yosef HaTzadik. So that is Shabbos Minchah is very special time. Minchah in general, very special time, right? Then HaShem answer Eliyahu Hanavi, for example, and other great people, right? At that time, and some people, I don't know why, modern Orthodox for sure, they come dressed down. I don't know from where did they get it? Like some people, in one shul when I used to go more on the modern side, right? They would come without jacket. I don't know why. Where did they get it from? It says clearly in Shulchan Aruch that you have to be dressed up until after Havdalah for sure. After do Havdalah properly dressed for sure. But if possible, even Milava Malka. So if not possible, convenient, this and that, yeah. So there is some lenience. But kind of Mincha, it's still Shabbos. What is this dressed down for? Okay, so meaning some people even come with jeans. Has sneakers like it looks silly, especially for example, somebody is new and does not now know how to behave. Okay, so I think if you have a little brain in your head, so just look at the most religious people, in the congregation, how they dress. What do they do? Don't look at the other people, more modern people. Look what other people do, and nobody from religious people would come without jacket. I mean, in general, even if people come without jacket on a weekday, let's say, right, they don't wear jacket. There is no problem, right? But for sure on Shabbos, they would wear jacket. Tie, somebody wear a tie, so for sure. Okay, so that's how you know, even without asking anybody, you see the most pious people in the shul, right? And you just do the same, you would be good. Okay, so in plus, right, it's very special time, right? Moshe, so Yosef, Moshe Rabbeinu, and David HaMelech passed. So that's another reason why we say these 3 verses. Tzedkascha Tzedek. If Shabbos falls on a day that if it were the weekday, that Tachanun prayer would not be recited. So what does it mean? Exactly this Shabbos, exactly this Shabbos we're talking about, right? On Motzei Shabbos is going to be Pesach, BeEzrat HaShem. So for sure there is no Tachanun on Pesach. Even now we don't say Tachanun. So for sure we don't say these verses. I don't have a siddur right now, but if you look at your siddur, I'm not sure if he's going to say, maybe not, but there is a list of the days where this Tzidkascha Tzedek is not going to be. So most likely when the holiday is upcoming. Okay. Right, or if it's Rosh Chodesh falls on Sunday. Okay. I think. Okay. One second. Continue. However, when praying with congregation in the house of the morning, so where the Tachanun is not recited in the house of mourning during the week. So right. So meaning the situation is said as it is. So we don't say Tachanun in the house of the mourner. Okay, that's a different thing. But on one hand, but on another hand, we still recite Tzidkascha Tzedek. Why? It's very interesting explanation. For if they would not recite it, it would be public display of mourning. It would not recite it, it would be public display of mourning. So what does it mean? Let's see commentary. And there should not be a public display of mourning on Shabbos. So meaning even this guy who is sitting, he started today Shiva for his sister. So all this during the day he should pray home. I don't think we used to have much more people, so we would be able to split. Some people would come to shul because on Shacharis, for example, some and it still would be enough for people to go to here to the mourner's house to have 2 minyanim. But now I don't think they're going to do it. It's not enough people. I mean, maybe, but if everybody is going to come on time, it's a big deal. So most likely he's going to come to shul, this guy. Right. So even though he's mourning at home, let's say during the week, but on Shabbos he's allowed to come to shul. On Yom Tov he absolutely allowed to come on shul, and he can dress up and he can change his clothing. So because when somebody passes away, they do kriya, meaning they cut their garments in the display of mourning. But now he can change to Shabbos clothing because there is no display of mourning on Shabbos itself. Of course, he's not going to sing songs and he's going to clap. We're not going to put him a chazan and stuff like that. Of course, that's needless to say. But there is no a public display of mourning on Shabbos, even for that person. So commentary. Omitting this recitation would be akin to omitting this recitation of Tachanun. Okay. Since omitting Tachanun is a custom in a house of mourning, right? Omitting the passage Tzidkascha, your righteousness, would be a public acknowledgement that the mourning status of those house, something that inappropriate for Shabbos. So the logic, we're going to go over this logic again, and it's the logic in a sense is reverse. Right. So again, we don't say the Tachanun in the house of the mourner, but even if in this case, so for example, this guy. This guy. Technically, no, it's not going to work for this guy because I think his Shiva is going to be over on Friday. It was like a Brit Shiva. But let's say the holiday would be on Tuesday or Wednesday, right? So let's do like that. I mean, it's more practical. So still, we don't say Tzedkascha Tzedek. Why? So when if he would not say Tzidkascha Tzedek, so it would be omitting the Tachanun. It's very interesting from Tachanun that we say on a weekday, right? And that's what you do in the house of mourner. So in house of mourner, you never say Tachanun. So and if you say do not say Tzidkascha Tzedek, it's like you're mourning, right? So there is a show is a mourning, and we should not mourn on Shabbos. I mean, it's an amazing explanation. So if you ask me without reading this, I would not figure. I mean, it's not as I said, it's like a reverse logic. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so let's do one more. 16. Weekday Shemoneh Esrei consists of 19 blessings, 3 introductory blessings of praise, 3 concluding blessings of praise, and 13 intermediate blessings of requests. On Shabbos and Yom Tov, the 13 intermediate blessings are replaced with a single blessing that discusses the special sanctity of that day. The opening of the Shabbos blessing differs with each of the prayer of the day, but we conclude with the same passage, right? Okay. Our God, God of our forefathers, may you please now with our rest. Maybe you pleased out without rest, etc. Okay, no problem. So it's actually introduction. From here until the end of Siman, Kitzur discusses the halachas that applies when one erred, when recited Shabbos or Shemoneh or Yom Tov prayer. If one erred in prayers on Yom Tov and began recited middle blessing of the weekday Shemoneh Esrei instead of blessing on Shabbos or Yom Tov, and recited and realized his error while in the middle of reciting one of the blessings, he must conclude the entire blessing that he began, and after that begin to recite the middle blessing on Shabbos and Yom Tov Shemoneh Esrei. The reason that one completes the blessing is because in principle it would have been appropriate to institute for the Shemoneh Esrei on Shabbos and Yom Tov as well, right? The recitation of all intermediate blessings as recited during the week, and to add mention of the special sanctity of the day, not as it is own blessing, but within the blessing of Recitation. Okay, so we're going to explain. As with Yale V'Yovo, passage added on Rosh Chodesh and Chol Hamoed. It was only due to the honor of Shabbos and festival that the sages did not burden the people to recite all of the blessings, and therefore instituted the middle blessing to express the sanctity of the day. However, with regard to this person who began to recite weekday blessing, it is proper for him to complete the blessing that he is reciting, since in principle it is appropriate blessing for him to recite even now on Shabbos on Yom Tov. So maybe it sounds a little complicated, but we're going to see that it is not. BeEzrat HaShem, let's start. Okay, so on weekday we have Shemoneh Esrei consists of 19 blessings. So 3 blessings, as we always say, the same. Even on Yom Kippur, the same, right? Rosh Hashanah, everything. Even on Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, it's a different Shemoneh Esrei, but 3 first blessing is always the same. Okay, and last always the same. Okay, so 3 to open, 3 to close, right? And in the middle 13. Okay, on Shabbos and Yom Tov, all this 13 is since firstly is a praises of HaShem. 13 is requests. Give me this, give me health, give me pronosa, stuff like that, right? Bring us Mashiach, right, and other things, right? So, but the last one is also a blessing, but the middle one is a personal thing. So now we say that on Shabbos we're not concerned about physical, right? We're concerned more about spiritual. So all these daily things that person worries, and you have to see, like in my show, like people, Baruch Hashem, when the time comes to recite the blessing for cholim, right, for the sick people. Today was what? Oh, today is Tuesday. Oh, it was yesterday. So very Torah, and there is a special prayers for cholim. You see how, like, you just look at the people, how people are concentrated, and the guy was like the Leib. He was like he would read like this what is it, names by from the memory, but he concentrates. So he has his number, I don't know, like 15, 20 people that he has to mention, not from the paper, from the memory. I mean, I also memorize all the people that I must say, right? But it's amazing dedication, right? So, but sometimes when you think about all the sick people, all about needy people, all about right situation in the world, so a person get depressed. So that's why our sages say all this parnasa thing, sick people. So it's going to wait until Shabbos. Let's today concentrate on our connection between us and HaShem, about spirituality. So that's why they took all these 13 requests, put them away, and added one big blessing that corresponds to the speciality of the day. So, and all three prayers on Shabbos are three different inserts. I mean, some paragraphs are the same, but let's say that there's still differences. Okay. So here he said until the end of Siman, so it's like another 2 or 3 sifim. The way I understand. So we're talking about when somebody erred, recited Shemoneh Esrei. So many people get confused what to do. Right? Very soon on Pesach we're going to switch a few things, so be careful. In first day of Chol Hamoed, I think. Right? So we're going to switch to add to remove things. So some people are confused what to do. Right? So BeEzrat HaShem, we're going over this different situation. So first situation, I think it's the most simple one. The most simple one is when a person erred, right, and he began like three blessings of Shemoneh Esrei. He said correctly, but the fourth blessing, right, came from nowhere or something, right, and he started saying, or she started saying the blessing for of the weekday. So let's say today is the Yom Tov, for example. That's very possible. Like Shabbos, everybody understands Shabbos. But if person knows that today is not Shabbos, today is Sunday, for example, this week. Sunday, like Shabbos was yesterday, right? I'm in shul, and I should pray weekday Shemoneh Esrei, like by the road. Like it's possible that the person might forget, and instead of praying holiday Shemoneh Esrei, right, they would pray by mistake weekday Shemoneh Esrei. And just so we know, there is in Art Scroll, if you use the Art Scroll Siddur, there is a different Shemoneh Esrei, like completely. So you go to, like I think in Hebrew English 660 page, you go there, and there is a different Shemoneh Esrei for 3 holidays. Okay. Okay, so continue. Okay. All right. So meaning person started on Shabbos or Yom Tov, like instead of praying correct Shemoneh Esrei, they start praying weekday Shemoneh Esrei. In a shul, people usually somebody Gabbai or Rabbi is going to remind us, or somebody usually Gabbai. Why should we have several Gabbais? So sometimes 3 of them remind at the same time, Baruch Hashem. At least 2 of them, Baruch Hashem. They bang on a desk or something. So we'll remember that something is not unusual in these prayers. Okay. So if a person start this weekday blessing, right? So he has to finish it, finish reciting, and then then go. So we're talking the 4th blessing. 3 is the same, and 4th blessing she started from the weekday. So finish whatever you started for a weekday, right, and then go to correct one whatever is it for Yom Tov or Shabbos. So let's see the commentary. For example, if he did not become aware of mistake until after completing the first of the weekday intermediate blessing, and the part of the next blessing, he must complete that blessing first, and then continue with appropriate blessing Shabbos or Yom Tov. So it could be even here. Of course, I mean I made example, and they made an example like it's when a person realized right away, but could be not. Could be a person almost finished, did 11 blessings, and then only then realized what I'm doing. Right, it's today's holiday, today's Shabbos. Right, so you just finish whatever you need to finish. Right, that blessing that you already started, and then you go to correct one. And the explanation is beautiful explanation. Right. Right. So it's a beautiful explanation. Why? Because technically, there is no problem. It's nothing that is forbidden in these blessings that we say during the week. And he said it would be even proper, maybe, right? It would make sense to leave all of the 13 blessings and of the week and add this additional for Shabbos or Yom Tov. sanctification of the day. So, but usually it's pretty long. It's three paragraphs, like 3 paragraphs. Right, it's pretty long. Okay. So right. So meaning what? So and even not to add like as extra blessing, but it's a part of Reciting. So Reciting, okay. Reciting, that's where we add addition for Shabbos. For example, in what is it, Birchas Hamazon, right? In the Reciting, we say in that blessing Reciting, we say addition for Shabbos, right? Or like or we say for Chol Hamoed. Okay. So meaning, but sages again did not want to burden us people to recite all of this blessing, and therefore they instituted the middle blessing on only express the sanctity of the day. So meaning the prayers is long enough as it is, right? And some people they don't have patience. So why don't like overburden a person? So a person wants to pray and say like extra blessing, extra things. There is no problem, but let them do on their own. So if there is no obligation, a person can do all the extra. If you look how many extras have the shachar, a lot of extra. So nobody's stopping you, but it should not be on the whole congregation, right? Because people would get impatient and stuff like that and start talking in the shul. So right, it's not proper. Okay, that's why our sages remove 13 and added 1. But that right, okay. However, with regard to the person who began reciting the weekday blessing, it is proper for him to complete the blessing he is recited, since in principle it is appropriate blessing for him to recite even now Shabbos and Yom Tov. So meaning this blessing, it's nothing wrong with that blessing. So it's not like, for example, when person eats, what is it? Fish, and he said the blessing on like a fruit of the tree. Where's the connection? Right? Fish is not fruit of the tree, and that blessing, yeah, we should stop. But here, right, there is nothing to stop. Right, that's correct. Correct blessing. Okay. Quickly checking time. I know we're not going to start next one because it's I just checked. It's pretty long. So let's leave it for the next time. BeEzrat HaShem. So we got it. So be careful, and as what from my personal experience, as I said many times, I had this issue also, but I realized on time that this when person memorizes the prayers, for some people maybe it's a great benefit, but for majority of the people it's disaster. Because you continue like saying, because you remember the thing. Sometimes you turn the pages and sometimes you do not turn the pages, and sometimes I found myself like even today sometimes I struggle. I continue saying the words and I start looking on the page where am I. So it's so embarrassing, so I try not to do it, and I force myself not to do it. Like I try to read every word word by word from Yusidor, right, from your Birchas Hamazon, right? So it's proper, like concentrate. When you memorize so many people, and I was one of them. Like it's like I did not pay like attention. I would start and then realize, oh, I finished. Baruch Hashem. Did they say all of the words? Absolutely, most likely yes. Most likely yes. But that was a problem because it was no concentration. Okay. So let's stop here a second.